Ladies and gentlemen, members and friends, it's time for a look at one of the whiskies also upcoming in our April Outturn Music and Malts Part 2, a full outturn full of goodies. This is one particular cask that's had a feature at a couple of events around the country. Yes, events, real in-person events that have all kicked up all over the country again. In fact, in April, if you have a look at April Outturn, I'll show the page here, has some of the events coming up this month. We've got Wollongong, we've got Melbourne, we've got Brisbane, there's stuff happening all over. It's always best to check the website for the most up-to-date details, but Outturn gives you a nice preview of what's coming up for events around the country. But this one has featured at a couple of events. This is Cask 52.38, so that means it's the 52nd distillery to join the Society's coding system and only the 38th cask ever passed by panel. So the Society's been going now for about 38 something years, so that's on average one cask a year, so we should really sort of relish this opportunity to have something as uncommon as this, if you like, and especially seeing one of this age and in this flavour profile, so that's unusual to begin with. It's a 7-year-old, so it's definitely on the younger end. It's in the Young and Spritely, which makes sense because it's a young whiskey. And it's called In Seine Dram, but it's spelt in its own way, of course, In Seine Dram. So it's a bit fun, and of course this is a bit of a powerhouse distillery in Wick in Scotland. It's a very coastal, maritime-y malt that they make at this Distillery 52. But how does it go as a 7-year-old at 58.5% from a first fill? I'm a big fan of Highland whiskies. I'm a big fan of that sort of, like I say, quite biscuity, quite savoury kind of character out of a lot of these kind of spirit styles. But this one often might come across a little bit different. Let's have a look. Immediately on the nose for this, it's like salted crackers, like those, what are they called? Not salada, sakata? You know those seaweed crackers, like those seaweed rice crackers. Very spirit driven. Obviously a lot of spirit character here, being a young whiskey from a first fill. Yeah, salted seaweed crackers here. Bit leathery as well. Bit of like pipe tobacco and leather pouch kind of thing going on, which is unusual for a whiskey of this age. Those are normally tasting notes associated with much older whiskies. Usually it's sort of, so it's obviously quite mature for its age. Age, statement on the bottle, and maturity are very different things in whiskey. That's a video for another time. We're going to discuss 52.38 for now. In Seine Dram. It's quite sweet though. It's quite like patisserie sweetness, like sort of baked goods. Let's see how that tastes. That's very oily. More of that sort of pipe tobacco going on there. Bit of chili chocolate, that lint chili chocolate sort of taste. In a good way. I mean, people often don't like to associate chili and chocolate together. Leave a comment if you're one of those people that loves chili chocolate or hates chili chocolate, because I find it's one of those chocolate types that always divides people. Or, you know, it's the same, I think it's the same with mint chocolate. You either love mint chocolate or you hate it, or maybe you're just a bit apathetic about mint chocolate, you don't care. But chili chocolate's one of those things that can actually sort of confuse and divide a bit. Bit of aftershave sort of note, if you like a bit sort of that splash of aftershave, barbershop sort of thing going on. Freshly shaven pencils. Lots of oak for a young whiskey. I'm going to try that with a bit of water. This is a distillery that has had a lot of profile actually lately in Australia, thanks to the amazing brand manager that looks after it, but also just thanks to people loving this style of spirit, loving that sort of oily and coastal, maritime-y kind of spirits that we can see out of this distillery. And I think to see one out of a 52 in the Young and Spritely is just an exciting, brisk, kind of fun summertime kind of dram. I know we're sort of heading into colder months, but this might be something you could buy now and crack in a few months, but this might be something you just want to buy and tear the lid off as soon as it arrives in the office or in the home, or wherever you enjoy your whiskies. With that water, I'm getting a bit of that Turkish coffee note, that sort of like coffee grounds. Delightful, truly delightful, and a testament to the spirit quality out of this distillery to shine at such a young age. We've had some great older examples and younger examples from Distillery 52, and I think Young and Spritely is one of those profiles, especially at the Society, that is a little bit underrated. You get to experience the distillate and the real chewy nature of what's going on in their spirit. This is available in April Outturn, which is on coming up on April the 1st, and that's not an April Fool's joke. It actually is the first Friday of the month, so that's when Outturn's being released. It's Music and Malts Part 2. I hope to see you all for a dram soon at one of our events around the country, or of course online, or one of our virtuals, or maybe even our symphonic masterpieces. The classical casks, if you like, of our virtual this month. Would love to see you in for that one. That's some classical distilleries and some classic kind of spirit characters going on there. Single cask, cask strength, and always fully flavoured, delicious. That's exactly what I want in a whiskey like this, and I'm almost lost for words on it, if you like. I'm mumbling my words at this point. I'll see you all soon. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I'll see you for April Outturn. Cheers.